Follow the trend, tend to benefit while avoiding harm. Hello, my name is Mr. D. In this video, I want to share with you an example of when I use the I Ching to predict the development of something. The main purpose of this video is to give you an idea of how we explain the I Ching to predict the future. So without further ado, let me get straight to the point. In 2020, there was a global event, the COVID-19 pandemic. I don't want to talk about politics because I'm in China now, and if I talk about something sensitive for the Chinese government, I could be put in jail. So I will avoid discussing some aspects of COVID-19. Please understand. Do you remember the steps to use the I Ching to predict things? First, ask a question. The question I asked at that time was, when will the COVID-19 in Wuhan end? My habit is to write down the time every time I use the I Ching to predict something. The time was 30 past 3 p.m. on February 23, 2020. To prove that I'm not lying, this is the result of this prediction I made in my iPhone memo. I keep dragging the screen of my phone to prove to you that my last revision date to the information in this memo is March 8, 2020. In other words, I have not made any edits to the information in this memo since March 8, 2020. Why do I have to cover this detailed explanation of this divination with a pink slab of paper? As I said before, I am now living in China and there are some things I should not say if I don't want to go to jail. In order to facilitate your viewing, let me convert the information in this memo to make it easier to view. In some way, I got one of the 64 hexagrams in the I Ching and determined which lines were changed lines. As the name implies, changed lines means a line should be changed. When there are two changed lines in a hexagram, one is connected line and the other is a disconnected line. Then we only change the disconnected line into connected line, and then we get a new one of the 64 hexagrams. This hexagram is the original hexagram, which represents what has happened from the past to the present. This hexagram is the change of the original hexagram, representing the current state of something and the final result of it. As for how to get the original hexagram and how to determine which lines are changed, I will explain in detail in next video of this series. In the first video of this series, I said that the 64 hexagrams in the I Ching, each of which has 7 paragraphs, we use these 7 paragraphs to judge whether things are going well or not. Changed lines are to tell us which of the 7 paragraphs we should take as the reference for this divination. Enter this website, find the location of this hexagram, and click on the picture of this hexagram. This hexagram is called Yu hexagram. There are two meanings in the overall Yu hexagram. One is the meaning of defense, and the other is the meaning of entertainment. There are two situations for defense: insufficient defense and timely defense. And there are also two situations for entertainment: excessive entertainment and proper entertainment. From the meanings of this hexagram, we can know how the COVID-19 emerged and became a pandemic. I don't want to go to prison, so I shouldn't explain too much. In this case, I just said that these two lines are changing lines, but only this line needs to be changed. Let's just look at what the paragraph of text corresponding to this line says. We should look at the order of the lines in the hexagram from bottom to top. First, second, third, fourth, fifth. So here, the fifth line marked means persistently ill and still doesn't die. The latter sentence is incorrectly translated. According to Chinese, it should be translated into "it will never die." Although I often use the I Ching to predict some things, when I read this text, I was still shocked by it. You have to know that the I Ching is a book that was written thousands of years ago, which means that these paragraphs were written thousands of years ago, and it can predict our current events so accurately. Persistently ill, never die. This sentence doesn't require me to explain anything. It has already said very clearly, COVID-19 is a very stubborn virus, and it will never be extinct. We can only coexist with this virus through the body's immune system. In fact, we get along with most viruses in this way. This is the hexagram before the line changes, which is the origin hexagram. It represents the state of things from the past to the present. This present refers to February 23rd, 2020. After this line changes, it becomes the Cui hexagram. The overall meaning of Cui hexagram is gathering, crowd, party, many people together. Today is May 2021. Why has COVID-19 not been eliminated so far? Because people are gathering all the time, right? Let's take a look at the corresponding paragraph of the line after it changes. First, second, third, fourth, fifth. Here it is. The fifth line marked means if in gathering together one has position. This brings no blame. If there are some who are not yet sincere in the work, sublime and enduring perseverance is needed. Then remorse disappears. Because this paragraph is more complicated and there are obvious errors in the translation, I will analyze this paragraph sentence by sentence. If in gathering together one has position, I think the translation of this sentence is more accurate like this. If in gathering together everyone has position. Give you 5 seconds to combine this paragraph with COVID-19 pandemic. What do you think this paragraph is saying? This sentence is simply to say that everyone has a place at the party. Use your imagination. It must be a party with few people and a long distance between everyone, right? Yes, you must have guessed that this sentence is referring to the social distancing policy in 2020. If in gathering together everyone has position, this brings no blame. So the complete meaning of this sentence is that if you keep social distance and don't gather in crowded places, then bad things won't happen to you. If there are some who are not yet sincere in the work, I don't know why the translator should translate this sentence like this. You see so many English words, but there are actually only 2 words in Chinese. 非服. 非 means negative, no, not. 服 means honesty. What it says does what it says. So, 非服 means dishonesty and doesn't do what it says. Combining these 2 words with the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, the government has put forward many laws and regulations on pandemic prevention, but many people have not complied with them. Sublime and enduring perseverance is needed, then remorse disappears. The meaning of the last 2 sentences is easy to understand, and there is no big problem in translation. To put it simply, everyone should follow the pandemic prevention guidelines, although that would be very uncomfortable. Respect the science and do what you have to do with your own circumstances. In the end, COVID-19 won't die, but humans will be immune to it. In the next video of this series, I will introduce how to randomly get one of the 64 hexagrams. After watching that video, you can use the I Ching to predict your future by yourself. As the COVID-19 pandemic is about to end, I would like to give you a message. Whatever can't kill us will make us stronger. If you have lost a loved one due to COVID-19 pandemic, please allow me to send my greatest apologies and sadness. Subscribe, be your own prophet.